I'm still fly, till I die, and I'm trying to find the answer to the ultimate why. Trying to scratch the itch while I try to survive. Might need to lighten up. I might click on up. The clock is ticking, make decision, no, just give it up. Yeah, they telling lies on me. It's a million different eyes on me. They took my face from me, replacing me. But they don't know, there is no way they are safe from me. And lately I've been trying to dish a fade out. Don't need a reason, I just wanna see a motherfucker laid out. They ain't even seen real hate from me yet. Don't leave, stay seated. They ain't take the bait from me yet. And if I fuck it up, I'll reset. Do my thing and peace out. Funny thing is we ain't even me yet. Turn the lights out. 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 Must be a vulture where I spun the block around your carcass. Knock your lights out. I'm the herald of darkness. Never spark shit, I will park it. If you bump the shit in the whip, motherfuckers getting car sick. Imagine getting starstruck by the one who wins you. Lurking in the shadows, sneak around the crib like tension.
Chat room. Chat room, chat room, chat room. Am I loud? Man. Heck the Astros, chat. Heck the Astros. I actually had to make a quick wardrobe swap because I kind of forgot that this shirt existed. And yeah. So heck the Astros, chat. Make sure we say it loud and proud in chat. Heck the Astros. What a game, huh? Luis Castillo went crazy style on it in this game. And Mike E, 29 months. Jose Altuve eats corn the long way. You heard it here first, chat. You heard it here first. Luis Castillo, appreciate the 29 months, by the way. Mike, our longest tenured member. Rich, what's up, dude? Luis was fantastic in this game. I would have been fine if they would have left him out there to face Mauricio Dubon. But it is what it is. And Gabe Spire got the job done. A little iffy there from Matt Brash. Yeah, that's what I was doing, Austin. A little iffy there from Matt Brash, but that's okay. Again, he also was able to get the job done eventually. But, you know, coming off of a 4 or 5 day rest for Brash, you know, it was what it was. All right. I don't care because the Mariners offense played add-on. Starting with J.P. Crawford there in the bottom of the 8th inning, driving in Cole Young after Ben Williamson got the bunt down. A little bit of small ball, huh, chat? A little bit of small ball. They bunted over Cole Young from first base after he worked a walk. And then J.P. Crawford works a fantastic at-bat and lines the ball into left field to score Cole Young. And that's when the floodgates open. You had a walk, of course, to Julio. Then you get up there. Cal, of course, gets up there and hits that single to right field, scoring JP, moving Julio to third. And then they intentionally walk Randy Arozarena. You then have the sac fly from Donovan Solano to score Julio from third base. And just absolute cinema, chat. You got a pass ball in there. We absolutely adore a good Hector Neris disaster class because that guy is a piece of poop. That Julio base running mistake was saved by Randy. I actually have a theory as to what happened there. 21 months. BDR is almost the same person as Cal Raleigh. It's true. Our boy BDR. That's true. Appreciate the 21 months, Austin. And then Mike E with the $2 holla. 4 games back of Houston and tied. Oh, we're tied for wild card 2. Now, I didn't even realize that. Love that. You just got to keep it rolling, right? I'm interested to see. So tomorrow you have Logan Evans on the mound. I'm not a massive fan of the fact that they're throwing Logan Evans in this series, but what are you going to do? That's why it's so important that you got the first one. The Mariners have been notoriously bad versus Lance McCullers, so maybe they're like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Like, that's the game we're gonna throw. And then the last game, Hunter Brown, it's potentially gonna be a rubber match. It's gonna be Hunter Brown, a very, very good pitcher this year. Maybe versus Brian Wu. I'm thinking that it should be Brian Wu in that scenario. But anyways, going back to that play that Julio obviously got thrown out at first base. Yeah, Black Mantis, that lineup, Mantis, like I had never heard of some of those guys. I had no idea who the hell Brandon Walter was. I'd never heard of that person. Anyway, so that play on Julio, what I think happened. So Julio was stealing second base, right? And Cal, was it Cal? Yeah, Cal pops the ball up over there first. Julio obviously doesn't see that. Head down, slides into second base. And then Greg with the 3 months. Appreciate the remember, Greg. Appreciate that. Julio slides to second base, doesn't see the ball up, right? He doesn't necessarily know where it is. And then as he's like starting to run back to first base, you can almost see Matthews. And it looks like Matthews said something. And I don't know what he said, but whatever it was, it worked, right? He said something, and then Julio kind of stopped and stuttered. And then once he realized it was too late, and Julio looked pretty upset coming off the field. And I'm wondering if Matthews said like pass ball or something like that. And Julio was like, oh, I don't need to go back. And then he realized what was actually going on, or like swinging strike 3 or something like that. Like, and Julio realized he didn't actually have to go back, but thought he didn't have to go back. And then, at that point he gets doubled off there at first base. It sucked, but in the end, okay, whatever. Jeremy says, thanks for the update. Would like to see Wu then. Yeah, I know that, excuse me, chat. I know that some people said that he is going to be on bereavement. He was at the game tonight. For those of you that don't know, during his game in which he was pitching in New York, we know that he had the like 7 no-hit innings, right? But his grandfather passed away during that start. If you guys haven't read the Daniel Kramer article, I urge you to go read it. It's a very, very good article. It's a tearjerker for sure. But it's Brian Wu, went out there and was a dog, but he was in the dugout tonight, so I don't think he's out on bereavement, at least not yet. They might wait for like the funeral or something, right? So I think he should be good to go on that Sunday game. And we'll just have to wait and see. Hunter Brown's given up 11 runs in his 10 runs in his past 11 innings pitched. There's hope yet, chat. That means we get the Luke Raley, the Dominic Canzone matchup. I was surprised today, and maybe you guys were too, to see Donovan Solano take that at bat with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. Obviously, it worked out. And it wasn't a huge. What am I trying to say here? Obviously, it worked out. It scored the run, but chat. Not how do I put this? Not putting Luke Raley in right there with 1 out and the bases loaded. Now, Ryan Roland-Smith made a good point. Hector Neris numbers versus right-handed hitters is way worse than his numbers versus left-handed hitters. But who on the team has hit into the most double plays? Donovan Solano. Okay. Who has just struggled all year in general? Donovan Solano. Right? You get Luke Raley in there, who's been super hot. I don't know. In the end, it doesn't matter. I think it should have been Luke Raley. It's nice that we don't have to focus on that. This is kind of my point. Yeah, Brandon, I did see that. Yeah, I had retweeted that tweet, I think, at some point. But yeah, it was just weird. Randy Abomzawena. I like that, Mike. I like that. We wouldn't have base running issues if Brennan Summerhill got drafted and was put in center. Interesting, Sean. Interesting. Maybe Dan Wilson's thought process is to give Luke Raley an extra day off. I don't know. He had 4 days off. He should be all right, but maybe. Felt good to win this one, period. Absolutely. You have to come out, coming out of the All-Star break, the thing I was worried about the most was this team falling flat. This team seeming flat out of the All-Star break. And it didn't, they kind of seemed that way versus whoever the hell Brandon Walter is. Um, they seemed a little flat, but once he got out of the game, for what it's worth, Mariners took care of business. So, you think the M should sell the farm for O'Neill Cruz? Thoughts? Nah. O'Neill Cruz is ugh. Ah. He hits the ball hard. He can't not strike out. Gotta head out, fellers. Love to the boys and go M's. Mike, appreciate you for being here as always, big dog. Big smooches. Kyle Jones, 13 months, says W baseball team. W. Black Mantis, think about this. Should our Astros take the next 2 games, we would only need to go 32-31 the rest of the season to hit 90 wins and have the tiebreaker. Mariners would need to play close to 620 ball to take the division. Yeah, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why I think it's very important for the Mariners to take this series and then be ready to go in that series in September versus the Astros, because there's a chance that is going to be an incredibly important series. Because what is it? That the season series is now tied, right? At 4 games apiece. The magic number is 7, I think, for the to lock up the, or is it 6? Are they tied at 5 apiece? Doesn't matter. The Mariners and the Astros are tied at however many games the season series. If the Mariners, I'm gonna spin this, obviously, Black Mantis to the Mariners side, but if the Mariners can find a way to take the next 2 games, you are 1 win away from locking up that tiebreaker. Now, the odds of the tiebreaker mattering are, of course, slim, but when you're the Mariners, you need every little bit that you can get. You know what I mean? In a situation like that. Where's Detroit Dojo when the M's win? SMH coward, so true. Everybody make fun of Detroit Dojo. Yeah, season series is tied, right? Thanks, Black Mantis. So, yeah, so it's a big series over the next 2 games, but then that series in September, in between or right before the Colorado Rockies come to town, and then the Mariners have to face the Dodgers. Yeah, okay. Are the Astros still the leaders in the division? Yes. Yeah, the Astros are still leading the division. They're up by 4 games now. Mariners made up a game here. The Mariners, if they were to sweep this series, could make it to 2 games back of the Astros. So, it's hard to understate how important this series is. Wouldn't you have the tiebreaker over us and the Rangers, though? That would be, yeah, we would. So I believe the Mariners already own the tiebreaker versus the Rangers, Black Mantis. And then I think obviously then what we just talked about. If the Mariners can find a way to own it over both of them, in the small chance that it happens, that would be huge. Do you see Castillo retiring here? Man, I know there's been a lot of flack about Luis Castillo over the past calendar year. He is one of the best pitchers in Mariners history. One of the best pitchers in Mariners history by ERA, by what he's meant to this team. In my opinion, he should be a Mariners Hall of Famer, but he has to pitch at least 4 years. And I know I say people should be in the Mariners Hall of Fame a lot. I mean, that's just what I think, but I honestly think there is a chance the Mariners trade Luis Castillo this offseason. So the short answer is no. I don't think he will retire here. I think that Luis Castillo is going to get traded during the offseason. Truthfully. When do we say that Garver is back? I mean, in his last 7 games, he's hitting 200 with like a 213 OBP. But in his last 15 games, he's hitting like I don't know, like 250 or something like that. It's 4 years. You have to play 4 seasons here, Andrew. That's why because Nelson Cruz came back, right, and signed a 1-day contract and retired as a Mariner, he is eligible for the Mariners Hall of Fame. I'm going to appreciate every Castillo, Evans, and Hancock and Miller start because it might be their last. True. It's hard to, like, when you look at Luis Castillo, chat, he was the biggest deadline addition that I can remember the Mariners making. Obviously not ever, right? That's an overstatement. But in recent memory, it has been the best trade deadline acquisition the Mariners have been. Obviously, it was a little before the deadline, but still. Randy's up there too right now. I mean, Randy's also up there too. When will the first trade happen? Call it right now, July 24th. Actually, I have a video coming out tomorrow morning, chat. Tomorrow morning we are releasing our our 2025 MLB trade deadline plan. Joe and I both made a plan, and we want you guys to go in and rank it, and we predict when the first trades will be. And I say July 24th because the 24th is my birthday, and that means I won't be able to cover it because I'll be going over to Chelan. So also, I saw a bunch of people asking if I was going to be at any of the games during this homestand. I will be there on Monday with a friend of mine. We're going to be there on Monday. I would like to go to a game during this Astros series. I do work Sunday. I could potentially try to go tomorrow, but I'm just not sure. So, and then Wednesday is certainly a possibility. Another one versus the Brewers. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if we trade Logan, I'm pissed. Getting the Rock was huge. Notable pitchers in M's history were so few and far between, honestly. Chelan, love that. I love Lake Chelan. 29. Yeah, 29? 29? Who knows the reference, chat? 29? Who knows the reference? I also saw somebody earlier, what are the chances of getting a Eugenio Suarez? I think they're high. Honestly. July 22nd here. Yo, happy early birthday, Creed. M's 80s fireworks on my MLB TV. Vibes are high. Aaron, with the $2 holla, vibes are high here now too. Appreciate it, man. Turning 40 this year? Okay, guys. Okay. Also, we're having a celebratory water. And so am I. Stop in Leavenworth and I'll buy you a beer. Listen, man, I absolutely adore Leavenworth. Is Leavenworth still on fire, Chad? Is it still on fire in that area? I think that the Diamondbacks are going to trade a Eugenio Suarez, and it could be strange if they didn't. But yeah, as Corey said, and this is something that we talk about in our trade deadline plan as well, Mariners, Cubs, and Yankees will all be bidding for Gino. Yep, we will all be in the bidding for Gino. But the nice part is the Mariners do have the most firepower. But at the same time, are the Mariners going to be willing to give up more for Gino than the Yankees? They should be willing to. But let's say the Mariners for Gino, they offer, and this obviously there's more moves that would go along with this, but just for the sake of it, this is actually something I talk about in the trade deadline plan. Let's say the Mariners trade for Gino and they trade like Logan Evans, and then obviously they would have to go pick up a pitcher, but that doesn't matter. It's another part of the plan. But they trade Logan Evans and I don't know, some like 10 to 15 prospect, right? Somewhere in there. Maybe like Ty Pete might even be a little high. I don't know. And then the Yankees call the Diamondbacks, say, hey, we'll trade you player X, Y, and Z for Gino. And the Diamondbacks call the Mariners back and be like, hey, the Yankees has offered us this. We want to go with that unless you can beat it. How far do the Mariners take it? Let's say the Mariners offer, Logan Evans and Ty Pete, just as an example. And then they get outbid by the Yankees. The Diamondbacks come back. How much further are you willing to go than Logan Evans and Ty Pete? Now, again, this is just a part of a trade deadline. This is not, the full trade deadline. So you'd go get a pitcher and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But there's a very real possibility where, listen, Gino's going to be the best bat traded at this deadline. I'm relatively certain of that. I really do think that he will be the best bat at the deadline. And if that is the case, the bidding is going to be crazy. And a team like the Yankees is incredibly desperate for a third baseman. But also, on the flip side of that, if you're the Mariners, obviously you should be desperate for third baseman too. There's only two guys that I think really make sense. That's Willie Castro and Eugenio Suarez. Now, if you can somehow go get Jordan Westberg or somehow go get Brendan Donovan or something like that, then I'd change my tune, of course. But more than likely, the two best third basemen that are going to be traded is Eugenio Suarez and Willie Castro. If the Mariners can't get either of them, you stick with Ben Williamson and you change your plan to go get a first baseman of some kind, and then you get a death bullpen. You go out there and you add David Bednar, like Ryan Helsley, like you make Pete Fairbanks, you make a death bullpen, and you go get a fifth starter. If for some reason you can't get a third baseman. Harry Ford, Colt Emerson, Montes, and Bryce Miller for Eugenio and Naylor. Man, Silverbane, in my opinion, that is way too much. Way too much. You're trading your top two that if I'm being honest with you, Silverbane, that looks like a trade for Ronald Acuna Jr. You'd still need one or more, like maybe one more player in there, but that looks like a trade for Ronald Acuna Jr., not for Naylor and Suarez, who are both going to be gone at the end of this year. Like, don't get me wrong. And if you guys read the article today, I think it was from Kramer or somebody, they talked about, or Jerry talked about, of course, we would love to add a player that's going to be here for the next couple of years, and right? Like, that's of course what you want. Like Randy, for example, you get him for a few years afterwards, but it's what Passan has been pitching. Hell no, I say no immediately. But he said that they might be willing to get guys that are, they're going to have their contracts expire at the end of this season. They're okay with that. It's a very hard spot to be in when you're the Mariners, right? Because the Mariners, since June 1st, or maybe it was like June 30th, I don't know, whatever. They have the best offense in baseball. Again. And I don't know how the hell that happened. But all of a sudden, they have the best offense in baseball again. Like, win. Since when? And so if they decide to go out there and add to their offense, you're going to have to find a guy that fits perfectly. And to me, that is Eugenio Suarez. To me, if the Mariners can add Eugenio Suarez at this deadline, if they only add Eugenio Suarez and a reliever, I'm in. That's a great deadline, in my opinion. Let me ask you a stupid question. A hypothetical question. Dumper for Judge, you taking it? No. Dumper is more valuable. He's a catcher. Way more valuable. $2 from Aaron. J-Ram and Santana for Ben Williamson, Canzone, Bryce Miller, Senja. I don't think that that they would be willing to trade Jose Ramirez and they choose between Emerson or Montes, but you put together a package it would be really, really, really hard to say no to. Really hard to say no to. So, I mean, hey, if you can get them to agree to that package, I might be in. Honestly. Heck, the Astros, big win, and Cal got a stolen bag. Dude, Cal Raleigh, man. I mean, I saw Autumn say it, like still riding the high of the home run derby. Watching him in the box today felt different. It literally felt different because I was like, oh my God. Like, that's the guy that we just watched win the home run derby. We watched him obviously get almost 2 base hits in the All-Star game. You know what I mean? That's the guy that was doing the I'm the home run derby champ dance. Like, that's the guy. And he's just standing there and he's on our team. And he's just, he's just in the box. He comes through with an RBI tonight. So please make sure this is Heck the Astros. I kind of have that. We kind of have a Heck the Astros shirt. Y'all want the link? I can go get the link. Hold on, chat. Let's go get the Heck the Astros link, huh? Fourth wall. Oh, God, I can't spell, chat. Help. according to Mr. 3, the Derby would ruin swings. I mean, if you guys watched, Julio over the past couple of years, you know that the Derby doesn't ruin swings. The Derby doesn't ruin swings, does it, Cha? Julio's been fantastic over the past couple of years after the Derby. That's the wrong. I just signed into the wrong account, chat. This is so embarrassing. Can we get 10 gifted members for how embarrassing this is? Thanks, chat. Judge is 5 years older than Cal. Yeah, that's another thing that you have to look at, right? Like, that's another thing. Like, in terms of age, Judge is kind of old, chat. Here. Get your heck the Astros shirts here. There you go, chat. Get them there if you guys want to get a heck the Astros shirt. Yo, Ben almost pulled off that bunt single tonight. Honestly, he got real close. You missed Luke Raleigh bunt singles. Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. Judge kind of a boomer. True. Have you guys hit up Cal for an interview? Seems like he's doing all the interviews. No. Nah, Cal's a little too big, huh? Staying for Steve Cohen straight up. I'm in. What happened to Framber and how the rest of the stars match up in this series? Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. No, heck is like a coined phrase, Father Time. That's our coined phrase, heck the Astros here at Mariner Mojo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they went in and changed from having Framber in this game or in this series to Hunter Brown in this series. I don't know why they did that. But do you think Cal will break Judge's home run record? No. Not because I don't think that he can, but I just don't think he's going to get enough pitches on the plate to do it. You know what I mean? Frick the Astros. Frick the Astros. No, you're good, Father Time. You're good. Why does Dylan Moore keep getting at bats? It's an interesting question, chat. Thankfully, we're not going to see Framber Valdez in this series, so we have two righties. So we're going to see Luke Raley and Dom Canzone the next couple of days. So anyway, chat, good 30-minute stream. We're probably going to get out of here, but oh my God, Tyler, buzzer beater again. Thoughts on Cal calling timeout to keep arguing? I love that. He called time and he's like, that wasn't a strike. That was so funny. I'm late, but if you talked about whether it's weird, yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Gorfy. I don't think it's a great idea to have Logan tomorrow, but against Lance McCullers, the Mariners have been terrible, so it is what it is. Framber got hit in the leg versus the Rangers before the All-Star break, so giving extra rest. There you go, chat. From Black Mantis, our resident Astros fan. Appreciate you, Black Mantis. Appreciate that. But we are going to get out of here. I truly appreciate all you guys for being here. We'll be live again tomorrow after tomorrow's game. Yeah, let's keep it rolling tomorrow. I mean, hey, if you can win the Logan Evans start tomorrow, I am feeling good. I'm feeling good. Dom Canzone at the dish, bro. Hell yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for being here. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed cows bite. What? Good night.